Welcome to another edition of the Pro Wrestling Rundown. I, as always, am Mike Edwards, and you may notice that my sidekick, the X-Man, is missing. X-Man, unfortunately, a little under the weather, not able to make it today. Get well soon, X-Man. I can't wait to work again. This seems to happen quite often since we started this. Anyway, I digress. I do have a special guest today filling in, so you don't have to look at just my pretty face. You at least have somebody else that we can, somebody I can talk to at least. I'm not talking to you. So, come on in. For many people might know him, might recognize him as the former owner, former one-third owner, former whatever you want to say, of All or Nothing Professional Wrestling, Tess Edison, and a very good friend of mine.
You know, I thought we were wearing ugly Christmas sweaters.
Dude, Christmas is over.
Yeah, but I won this one. Hold on.
Yeah, I see what happened.
Alright, sorry.
All X's fault.
Yeah, that's a real, that whole incident's a real car wreck, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed it is. And he said, I'm sorry, but my ugly sweater will have to wait until next year. So I see where you got the idea from.
Yeah, but X's ugly sweaters are just his back hair. So I don't know if that's... Anyway, it's nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
No problem. It's just kind of nice that since the AON forwarded, or however you want to put it, it's nice to have you on here and get you back some FaceTime. And as you've seen from the show, I know you watch the show quite often because you text me when X makes a mistake.
I do, because still kind of involved with this, and not just meant you're a good friend. Frank's a good friend, so.
Yep, and of course today we have Martin manning the camera behind the scenes. Thank you, Martin. He is the
Thanks for waving, Martin.
Former sound tech of AON as well. Yeah, we have a lot of former guys here. That's because they're guys that we've worked with, and that's why we kind of stick to it. As for Kes, the reason why he's on the show today is special guest because he's the only one that would take the money we were offering to have him on.
I feel bad because Dandruff's around here somewhere, like sweeping up. That's
who?
Dandruff, remember the timekeeper we had for 2 shows that we brought in?
Briefly, but I don't remember much about it.
Whatever.
Anywho, to continue on, one of the reasons why we want to get this show up is that obviously everybody has an opinion on the brand new WWE Network. I'm going right into the news. That's the big one. That's the elephant, if you will, in the room.
Then you need news.
No.
All right.
We're still diving.
It's still there.
Oh, it should still pop up or something like that. But we have a budget right now. We can't afford those big things. We don't have to catch that as money in AON. Anyway, what we're talking about is the WWE Network is a huge launch thing, and the big thing about it is that it's not a network.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about it, actually. This will be good because I don't know if you're in favor of it or not, but I like the idea of it. I don't like how they're doing it.
No, I mean, one of the good things is you'll be able to watch it on your tablet, your smartphone, your computer, laptop, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4.
X's Abacus.
No, that's a little too behind the times. But it's interesting just because it's being brought to you that way. I don't like it personally because I actually like having...
See, that's why we're such good friends. Because I don't like it either.
And just like everyone else, everyone's going to say, well, you're good. But you know what? If you look at the facts, CW has a website. I actually have a CW app on my tablet. I can watch CW shows everywhere. Discovery Channel has one. So there's no reason why it couldn't be a real channel unless there was not enough interest from the cable companies.
Or satellite. I don't understand why it's not... And see, to me, if it was on a DirecTV, or if it was just a network, so you could pull it up on a DirecTV or Dish Network or, any cable system. To have it streaming, yeah, it's cool in theory. It's still $10 a month, but why couldn't they do a pay channel as a real channel? The streaming is okay, I guess, but... I guess Drew, I was talking to Drew, and he said, it's going to be like Netflix. Yeah, but
you
Netflix,
still talk to him?
Well,
anyway,
I have to volunteer with the...
Okay. Yeah, special. But anyway, one of the things that I thought was interesting about it was that there's one of the big things that come up about this. I don't know if you've read this or not. One of the big subjects that come about it is, for that $10 a month, you're getting every pay-per-view on the network. And as a result of that, DirecTV is thinking about dropping WWE pay-per-views.
I did not know that.
Yes. I actually read about that. I have to see if I can find
But
the
it's
story
still streaming, though. It's like that.
They said that the deal is this, and this is a little behind-the-scenes stuff. I'm not going to be one of the typical fans who's going to cry without having my facts, because that's the way I am. I'm the encyclopedia. Thank you, Drew. I usually give him a little joke in the past, but I'm actually going to thank him this time.
I should have got you a name tag.
Yeah, you should have. Here's the deal behind it, is that when WWE signed, not just WWE, but UFC, and I know all the UFC people are going to hate the fact that wrestling guys are talking about a UFC.
Well, there is a UFC TV coming out.
But UFC, WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, anybody that offers some kind of a pay-per-view event are not allowed to offer it on a network at a cheaper rate, at a cheaper price. Here they are undercutting the networks, the DirecTV, Dish Networks, Comcast, whoever's out there. They're undercutting them by almost $40 per pay-per-view just because of $10 a month.
Unless it's $10 a month for the programming and you get them for free. It's like on eBay when you buy concert tickets. You can't buy concert tickets, but if you buy this cone for $40, you'll get these concert tickets for free.
And as DirecTV said, part of their whole thing was that they don't need the WWE pay-per-views because they've been steadily declining, according to their reports, and saying that this will just cause more people to jump ship to the WWE network. Who's not going to go for the pay-per-views? Heck, I'd be thinking about it for $10 a month for pay-per-view instead of...
See, the way Vince McMahon is, I'm very surprised he didn't, and maybe he did, I don't know. He wouldn't have went to a DirecTV and said, look, let's do an exclusive WWE programming with it, because they could have made it $15 a month, and DirecTV could have got a split of it or something like that. But that actually surprised me that he didn't go that route. Like the audience channel on DirecTV, it's a DirecTV channel.
Right, and I'm wondering if with the DirecTV situation, if part of it isn't the fact that maybe he tried going to the different networks, and you would think that since they've had such a huge backing from from NBC and Universal being on all their networks, the Tribute to the Truth aired on NBC and prime time. Mm-hmm. They're on USA, they're on Sci-Fi, and I think that, if I'm correct, E! Channel is also a member of the Universal family, which is True Hollywood Divas, or True WWE, whatever the show's called, True Divas.
Something, whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Something between the Kardashians and another train wreck.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole thing is, you think having the backing of NBC, they would be able to get some good rates. They know how to negotiate, obviously. They went back to USA for a great deal after being on Spike for...
The one thing I get is, I think they went to streaming, honestly, because they probably don't have any other options. Because how long has Vince McMahon talking about doing the WWE network? It's been years. It's been probably a decade since they started saying, oh, we're going to work on a WWE network. And it's never come to fruition. So I'm thinking maybe they just said, screw it, now they're going to do a pay service that streams online.
Of course, there also might be that side argument that they could be doing it right now as kind of a test. And maybe in the future, possibly these networks, these other companies, such as the DirecTV, the Dish Networks, and everything like that, might actually pick it up after a while if it's successful enough. Maybe that's what they're trying to prove. They're trying to show, hey, this network will work, people will pay for it, add us to your subscription.
Yeah, it worked really well with that other football league, but I digress.
Well, that was something completely different. Besides that, I'm looking forward to that starting up again because NFL is ending. Time for the next season.
The Wichita Bob is going to be my favorite expansion team.
There is no fair catches in that league. But anyway, I digress. With the network, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. I wonder if they're going to put on XFL.
I would get it done, actually.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah,
and
see
fun.
Tommy Maddox with the Las Vegas Outlaws?
No, I think he was with the LA team, the LA franchise. Yes, I do believe he was with them. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. And of course, we'll be able to see Rob, he hate me, smart.
Yeah, that guy.
So I'm looking forward to seeing that. It's going to be interesting to see where that goes. A few other notes I've been jotting down as I've been watching wrestling lately myself. And this is where you get to come in because you get to play off that because that's what X does.
I'd like to think I might add a little bit more.
I want to say if you've been watching, you've seen Goldust back.
I haven't been watching. But I do like Goldust.
Goldust is back, and for his age and for how long he's been around the business, he is awesome. You're right. You should see what he's in. Probably the best shape.
Is he still supporting the Utah law that just got repealed?
Not sure about that one. I don't follow up on his politics because I don't follow up on politics, period, because they suck.
Yeah, but is the character still the same from
Basically,
bygone era?
He's actually tagging up with his brother, Cody. They're the tag team champions currently, which is another subject. WWE's doing a great job of rebuilding the tag team division. It's Goldust and it's Cody. They're now known as the Brotherhood.
That's actually pretty... See, I personally haven't watched it a lot because I hate the writing team. I think the writing team needs to be fired with guns. But
not me.
I did
out of a
DVR
cannon and into the sun.
I didn't see Old School Raw because I forgot to DVR, but it's on the Universal again. The Universal
And
connection.
Hulu.
Yeah, but the Universal HD, it's recording tonight, so I'll actually watch it because that's after watching your Facebook post.
Well, when you see Goldust, he's been back permanently for a couple months now. He looks great. He's in great shape. Unbelievable to see him, and that's what's interesting because now all these other guys are starting to come back. Batista's making his return to WWE shortly,
Just because he has a new movie.
and just in time for the Royal Rumble.
Is he going to be the surprise entrant? Because that's
No.
going to be disappointing.
No, because he's already announced as an entrant. And I'll tell you something else. When you watch the end of the show, let me tell you, Jake Roberts looks in amazing shape.
He didn't do any lines or shoot up any heroin in the middle of the ring, I can remember. Which I'm glad. I saw something. He said something about DDP's yoga.
He was been
I love Jake the Snake. Don't get me wrong, but it's just really sad
for those like myself who are following that story. Jake the Snake Roberts was basically on his last leg, so to speak. DDP basically took him in. He was living with DDP. DDP was using his yoga to help people. In fact, guys like Goldust, Chris Jericho, and others are using the DDP yoga to get themselves back in the ring shape. So he got Jake Roberts cleaned up, off drugs, and when he came out, I like seeing some of the old guys when they're on Raw. Ted DiBiase has a great working relationship, as you saw in my Facebook post. He's back quite often. Some of the other guys are like that too, like Booker T, he's always there. Shawn Michaels, he's always there. Rowdy Piper always shows up when they need him. Although when Rowdy Piper has a mic, I listen.
Yeah.
Still one of the best. So these guys, I'm not that excited for it because I see them quite often, but it's still nice to see them. And I still have respect for those guys before everyone else. When Jake Roberts came out, yeah, I marked out.
12-year-old TV's Mike Edwards held up his GEWF belt and ran around the house.
No, actually, I found like Jake the Snake Roberts actually pretty good.
With the punch.
With the punch.
Action. And the arm cocked for the DDT. Where is Jake? We should have brought him in.
I should have brought him in. But all things considered, he was basically the Keith Richards of wrestling. He's done every kind of drug and nothing killed him. And he looked in great shape. I mean,
That's awesome. I am excited to see that because I do like Jake the Snake.
he is one guy that if anybody can teach psychology, ring presence, he's the man. That guy, he would captivate you with the promo. So great to see him in great shape. I'm hoping the WWE could utilize him with new talents, and hopefully, even if the writers and the writing's not that great, at least if he can get them the characters built up. So
Yeah, I
they're
mean,
interesting.
the guy's a creative genius. I mean, he's helped how many superstars when he was there and clean. So yeah, he would be a good addition. And they need to do stuff like that. They need to look back to their past and help bring that in because honestly, like the last few years haven't been that groundbreaking.
Now, my other part of that post, I said that since Scott Hall was a little bit of a newer star, kind of like from the 90s, I said he's the Scott Weiland of wrestling. Because again, he's had drug problems and been thrown out of just about every group he's been associated with.
That's a fair call.
Okay. So Scott also has been staying with DDP and is trying to straighten up his act. If it does half as good for Scott as it did for Jake, it'll be a miracle because Scott was messed up.
DDP Hook is like the secret.
It must be. He's doing something. Well, DDP makes an appearance on Raw and even puts his leg above his head.
Were you watching the right Raw?
I was watching the right Raw. He was demonstrating his yoga. I was impressed. Especially for his age, considering he started his wrestling career in his 40s. Maybe 30s, but
Yeah, I was gonna say.
you get the point.
He'd be like Ric Flair.
You get the point. He was still older than what most people actually start whenever they start. I also got a little bit of interesting news reading stuff online. My sources have told me that behind the scenes, The Undertaker always agreed to work a match at WrestleMania.
Always looking for a comeback.
Well, for once a year, called a comeback. But, first of all, he's The Undertaker. He's the longest active member of the roster, well, you want to call him active, he's the longest member of the roster without jumping ship to another company, without being fired, without any bumps. He's been there since basically he signed the contract. He never left and never went anywhere. To me, if anybody deserves that 1 year match, I would give it up for him because everything he's done for them.
Right, and he doesn't go out and complain. He doesn't go out and be a Hulk Hogan and get on like talk shows and raise a bunch. I mean, you never hear about the guy.
No, he keeps to himself. He does what he's supposed to. Now, he agreed to a match. Here's the interesting thing. He wants Daniel Bryan for his opponent at WrestleMania.
Yes. At WrestleMania. Like, here's the thing. You can't, everything aside, you can't drop the streak. Like, that's the one thing I always felt bad. Like, you know, oh, Shawn Michaels is going to come in and help push this new guy. Ric Flair is going to come in and help push this new guy. But it's the streak. And like you said, the guy is the establishment. You know what I mean?
And even if somebody like Daniel Bryan loses to the Taker, the fact that he's facing Taker at WrestleMania is going to elevate his career that much further. Daniel Bryan's already way over, obviously. Not only does every WWE fan love him, but so does every indie star because he was from the Indies originally. So I'm really interested to see how that's going to turn.
Name was.
Yeah, I mean, the WWE likes to. Well, this was my favorite part about
There's
that.
the creative team hard at work. Well, I don't like Daniel Bryan, so let's make him.
Well, this is the part to me.
Okay, X. Is that breaking news coming in now?
Yeah, he fell asleep. Thanks, X. Anyway,
Really?
what I was about to say is WWE likes to own the names. People made a big deal out of it that they changed Daniel Bryan's name for when he was in the indie circuit. You got to understand, back in the day, when a guy like Lex Luger came into WWE, after that whole event with SummerSlam, he agreed to work for WWE, and then all of a sudden he appears on Nitro, like the day after. Rick Rude appeared on the show, so this guy's using their names and going somewhere else.
Yeah, and that comes from too. As a worker, that's ridiculous because you're putting in all the hard work. You're getting your body destroyed and banged up and everything. And if you want to go for a better payday, you can't take your own name that you help. But on a business standpoint, why is Vince McMahon a producer on everything Dwayne Johnson does? Why is he a producer on everything that Austin does? Because anytime they use Stone Cold or they use The Rock, and that's why Dwayne Johnson goes by Dwayne Johnson, because anytime they use that, Vince McMahon gets another couple $1,000.
And on a business standpoint, whenever you build up a star to the point of, like Lex Luger, they were building him up to be the next Hulk Hogan, and then he went back to WCW.
Right, they invest all the money and time and resources.
Yeah, why are you going to invest time on somebody that's not a name? That way, when they go somewhere else, they have to use a different name, and you're not as recognizable. I get it, it makes sense. Whether you agree or not, that's the truth, that's the fact. Whether you like it or not, that's not for you to decide, that's Vince McMahon. And as far as that,
they have the #1 wrestling company.
in fact, Daniel Bryan even put out a tweet after they changed his name, and this isn't really new wrestling news, but he said, guys, it's just a name change. I'm still the same guy. And he's done wonders with that. That's the best thing about some guys, so they can take whether it's a bad gimmick or a bad name and make it theirs. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there are people that would have given the idea of a Bray Wyatt in the Wyatt family. You see that creepy feeling.
No, I've seen, I actually, I think I got choked out by them before. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was just a gimmick very similar that we used to work with.
I'm sure that somebody had been saddled if somebody would have said, hey, we want to give you this Bray Wyatt gimmick, and this is what we expect you to do. I mean, there have been people, and you've seen it over the years, the people that don't want the gimmicks don't work well with it. They intentionally try to make it fail. The problem is you look like a failure then too. So now Bray Wyatt is making this gimmick work. And he's putting a lot of effort into it, and I bought him. It's been a great gimmick. He's one of the better characters, I think, right now in WWE.
Yeah, I'll go with you. Where I think that I don't know. Drew's made it. It was kind of like a certain tag team we knew pretty well. It's almost like whatever. But I always like that gimmick. I always like that. So to see that in a WWE type of setup is pretty awesome, actually. So, more power to him.
Bray, just remember to pay your taxes. If not, IRS will be after you. I'll tell you about that one later. And continuing on to other things as well.
We're going a little long here. I don't know how long we've been out there.
Well, we'll be cutting this here short.
Get a hook.
A few things here real quick. First of all, we know that if you didn't follow anything with TNA, I'd like to touch upon them because I know there's a lot of TNA fans out there, and we are the Pro Wrestling Rundown. Mm-hmm. Recently, of course, AJ Styles has been in contract negotiations. They failed. So basically, AJ Styles is gone from TNA. One of their top talents, guy's been there from day one. They can't even bend over. Dixie whoever's telling her to make these decisions needs to be fired. If not, Dixon needs to be fired.
Now, do you think he's going to show up at the Rumble?
It's highly possible. WWE, I wouldn't put any past him. He has signed on to work dates for Ring of Honor, though.
Yeah, but we know guys that
But
are
WWE
established he allows them to go out.
WWE seems to have a working relationship with Ring of Honor, similar to what he had with ECW. So I'm kind of curious because Punk made an appearance with the WWE title after he left in Ring of Honor. So yeah, who knows? As well as that, Jeff Jarrett also gone from TNA. He's the one I would bet would be in the Rumble, but rumors circulating he started his own wrestling promotion with Toby Keith. Is that the country singer? I don't follow country.
Really?
Yeah, because Toby Keith was one
I
of
guess
the
if ICP can do it, I guess a country singer can do it.
Well, no, he said the ICP could do it well.
Get it.
With that, Ring of Honor has got AJ Styles, and that'll be great because they developed some great young stars. And obviously, long ago to WWE, Ring of Honor has a great relationship. That their owner said, "I'm not going to hold you back." In fact, Daniel Bryan, before he left there, said to the owner, "Hey, I've been dreaming of going to WWE. They offered me a contract." The owner said, "Follow your dreams." So there's got to be some kind of respect there. So who knows? If AJ does make an appearance in the Rumble, obviously he'll be able to finish his Ring of Honor dates, and then we'll see what happens there. I also want to send out a get well wishes to somebody locally. I was at the last Power show, and DC Bentley took a dive out of the ring. He got thrown out of the ring. It should have been a routine event. It wasn't really that big of a deal. He landed on his shoulder, had to go for shoulder surgery.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean,
that's never good to come back from. That's about a 6-month recovery.
Yeah, I mean, they had him back there, so a couple guys had to help him to the back. And DC, get well. Hope to see you back in the ring. He's actually very entertaining. You get a chance to see him at a Power show.
Well, I do. I want to go the next time you guys. They have another one come up here.
25th.
There you go.
Of January. So we're trying to get some people together. This should be a good time. It's been a fun show. You can get your tickets on their website or at Transfer Junction. I think Steve Seltzer Honda has advanced tickets.
You can get on their website, I think, too, man.
Yes, you can go on their website.
Is that PowerProWrestling.com?
I think it's Deep Power Wrestling.
Deep Power Wrestling, sorry.
Not their Facebook. Find their Facebook as Deep Power Wrestling, and then you can find their website from there. So Doug has got something started. It's a lot of fun to go. I'm just glad to have...
I like what they did. They have their own venue. It's almost like ECW. They have like their own venue, and they do all their stuff from there. So, I mean, at least from what I've seen, I haven't been to a show yet. I know a couple people involved in everything. I respect a couple of people that are involved as well. But, yeah, it's really nice to see that another indie feds in the area, too. I mean, Phoenix and all that stuff still. But it's just nice to see indie wrestling in general.
It's nice to have it back, and Doug has himself, I think, a small hit on his hands with this one. And I know that as long as there's going to be in the area, it's just great to have wrestling back in Altoona on a regular basis. This one actually, I think he could try and raise money for heart disease at this show. I think it's called the Headlock for Heart Disease. I think, Doug, if I messed it up, I apologize. No offense.
Blame X.
Yeah, he wrote it down. So anyway, that's going to be a fun show.
Yeah, I'm going to try to make that one.
So, I mean...
Not in a suit.
I think I wore this last time.
I wanted to dress up because we were on camera.
And I gotta tell you, it's kind of fun because there's still some wrestling fans that recognize us.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So it's always a good time. As always, support indie wrestling. I haven't seen anything from Phoenix Pro yet. The Phoenix guys don't know if they've announced another date for the next show.
Yeah, I want to get one of the. I know you and X. I think Drew made it to one. I just haven't had a chance. I'm so busy lately. I don't have time to get out. I want to get to one of those too. I miss the indie wrestling thing.
It's a lot of fun. And the Phoenix shows are a little bit different than what the Power shows are. Obviously, you got different stars, you got different workers, a little different feel. So the next time Power's in the area, hopefully we'll...
But that's a good thing. I mean, it's nice to have different styles.
Oh, yeah.
Because it kind of helps shake some things up. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely not knocking it. In fact, I ran into the owner at AC at the mall the other week.
Oh, that guy.
I talked to AC for a little bit, so they're doing pretty good. He's happy with what they're doing. They're actually looking to expand their entrance and add some things to their set. So, again, good luck to Phoenix Pro. And next time we see a show, next time I find your show, I get the announcement on Facebook. We'll get the announcement out to you guys or find their Facebook.
We should probably say hi to CZW. I know they sent a message.
Who?
CZW.
Oh, yeah. I kid. One of their behind-the-scenes guys sent us all kind of information on indie shows. I'm going to see how we can work that into this show as well. It's a lot. It's a lot to read through.
Yeah.
This guy promotes for several different companies. And
But that's what this show is. I know that's what you're building it for. You know, is the results and the news and everything, and it's just cool to have it back.
again, like I said, go out, support indie wrestling. That's what it's all about. Because these are the guys that where WWE, TNA, and Ring of Honor are going to be looking for their stars from. In fact, we had a guy when AON was around that was actually training with Ring of Honor. I think a little family things got in the way. He didn't finish training or wasn't able to complete training with Ring of Honor. But it was really
Traveled
cool.
a lot with him, though. But yeah, I mean, if anybody out there has news, I mean, get it to TV's Mike Edwards here and get it on here and talk about it.
We'll probably have the email address right up there somewhere at some point.
Can we stand on it?
I hope so.
That makes it tricky for the monkeys, but
I'm not doing it, so.
yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, guys, guess that's a wrap up for the show. I appreciate you being on the show. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. It was
No problem.
fun to be back in this.
I would like to have guests on the show. Me and X are not against having guests on the show. If somebody wants to come in and help promote a new episode, or not episode, want to promote their shows.
If they call their shows episodes.
Yeah. If you want to talk to us, if you want to come on and you want to be in character, that's cool. If you want to talk out of character about wrestling like we do, it's fine either way. Just let us know, and we'll see what we can do.
I just wear sunglasses because it's bright in there. And I wanted to look nice. Maybe it's this stat. I don't know. I feel weird. X stands here, so it might be. Yeah, that's what's causing it.
Yeah, I'm not used to. Is that your get out jail free
It's
card?
a business card from Cousin Otis. I think it was actually a corner of a napkin.
I would
And
believe it.
anyway.
For Lotus, I would believe it. Anyway, hey, one last thing. I wanted to say this. Wrestling fans, you guys are taking things way too seriously. They have sent Ric Flair death threats.
Is this because of the whole 49ers thing?
Yes. He was invited to...
Really? I mean, come on.
He gave a pep talk to the 49ers. The reason why they're taking it personally is because the 49ers are now playing the Panthers. Now, anybody that's not a football fan, I know, I don't care, but it's a wrestling related because it's Ric Flair. And Ric Flair is a season ticket holder to Carolina Panthers football. So they're taking it personally. They kind of take the role that he's now the bad guy again. And Flair,
Yeah, I read something. I think he goes, "Well, I always did make a good heel."
yes. So wrestling fans, sometimes they take it a little too seriously at times. And Panthers fans, you guys take it way too seriously all the time.
Yeah, I mean, just be happy you're in the playoffs.
Well, anyway, guys, I think that's a wrap. Again, thank you very much for being on the show. I do appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.
X, get better. DC Bentley, get better. Can't wait to see you back in the ring. And we will see you next time on boy, did I have a mess up. The Pro Wrestling Rundown with myself and the X-Men. Hopefully, X-Men will be feeling better.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye, and good evening.